Let's add some music to our game. We're going to create a new scene and we're going to add a custom node. We'll do another audio stream player. We'll call this music. We'll drag over our music.ogg file, drop it here, and we'll have it autoplay. And we can lower the volume decibels. I'm going to do -2. Let's see how that sounds. It'll kind of fade in. That is going to be pretty quiet on you guys' end because I don't want the music to be too loud, but it sounds pretty good to me. So let's turn it off so it's no longer playing. Save this scene. Come back to our start menu. We'll add this to the scene. We'll instance our music inside of the start menu. And run the game. And we have music. But there's a problem. If we click start, our music stops. So the problem is, how do we keep something consistently playing across multiple scenes? And you can do that in Godot using an auto-load singleton. And I'll show you how to do that. So let's remove our music here. And we'll come back up to project settings. And here we have an auto-load. And here we can add a node. So you pick a path here. So we'll pick a path. You can do a GD script or also a scene. And we're obviously going to be doing a scene. So we're going to select our music scene. Wherever it is, here we go, music scene. And then you'll give it a node name. This is so you can get access to it if you need access. We'll just add it, and it will add it in here like this. Music, here's the path, whether it's enabled or not, and then close. And that's it. Once you've added it as a singleton, you can get access to that node anywhere in code. It's a global singleton, so you'll want to be very careful about when you use these. And it will be persistent across the different rooms. And that's exactly what we need for this. Okay, perfect. And I don't actually want the music to be playing every time we run the game, because it'll just start to get annoying while we're testing. So we can come back up into project settings, and we can just disable the singleton for now. And then when we want to turn it back on, we can turn it back on. Now we're going to learn about a center container. Well, first of all, I want to do some polish on our start menu here. And we're going to actually add a game over menu as well. So we'll be doing both of those. Our start menu currently uses a button in order to go to the next room. I don't really want to do that. It doesn't make sense because we use the keyboard for the controls, but then you have to use the mouse to click the button. So it's just a bit awkward. So let's click on this right here, come over to node, uncheck your signal. So we'll disconnect the signal, and then we can delete this button. And we'll add a new container here. It's called a center container. This is a Godot UI node that will place any green or control type node in the center of it if it's a child. So we'll put this as full rect for the layout like this, and we'll put it above the particles here. And inside of here we can add a new child. We'll just add a label. And this label will want to have our custom font, right? So let's apply our custom font. Pixel font, here we go. And we'll just say press space to start. And then we'll return and we'll do press escape to quit. And we can center these and vertically center them as well. And you can see it automatically puts that in the center of our room, this label right here. And I think that's pretty cool. So let's add some code now. So we'll just change this right here to the process function, and we'll do if input dot is action just pressed UI accept. We'll change to the world scene. If input dot is action just pressed UI cancel. We'll do get tree dot quit. That will end the game. Now if we run this, you can see press space to start, press escape to quit, press space to start the game. And if we go back, we can press escape to quit the game. We're going to create another scene here because we're going to be creating a game over, our game over screen, which will have our high score and stuff on it as well. So we'll create a new scene here with a custom root node of just node. We'll call it game over screen, game over screen. And in this scene, we'll switch to 2D. We will have, I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to decide. I don't think we want to use a center container here. I think we'll learn a lot more about UI elements as well, but so we'll just kind of place them manually here. We'll add a background. Oh yeah, we'll use our color rect. We'll do full rect, make it black. Call it background and lock it so that we don't have to worry about accidentally clicking on it. We'll want to instance our star particles. We made them their own scene, so we can drag and drop them in here. So instance the star particles. We'll create another label. And we'll call this label, game over label, like this. We'll say game over. We'll want custom font here again. There we go, drop our font in. We'll want to center and center to make it easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're centered here. Then we can click on this and do Control D to duplicate it. And we'll call this high score label. And we'll just do high score semicolon 0. Then we will add another button here, another label here. We'll drag this one down to the very bottom of the screen, and we'll just say press escape to return to the main menu, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good enough. That's good enough for now. We'll call it escape label. And that's a pretty good game over screen. I think I want to move these up. We'll save this scene and we'll give it a script. And in this script we'll have our process function. If input.is action just pressed UI cancel get tree dot go, let's see, change scene. There we go. Game Maker coming out just a little bit there. And then we'll grab our main menu scene. Where's that? We've got, let's see, where did our world, no. It's called main menu, right? So it should be, start menu. Here we go. Grab the start menu scene so we can get the path to it right there. Save. And we'll need to make it so that when the player dies, we come to this game over screen. So let's open up our ship.gd. And we'll say we have our exit tree right here. What do we want to do here? We're gonna create a signal for the player because we're creating an explosion effect. So we'll create a signal for the player. Signal, we'll call it player death, like this. And when we die, at the very end of the exit tree function, we'll emit this signal. Emit signal player death. And the reason I want to use a signal is because we're going to be using the world script to write to our high score and stuff, and our score, and so we'll be using it to write to the high score, so we can use a signal to tell the world about that. So open up our world scene, come in here, click on ship, and we'll want to connect our player death with the world right here. Connect. It'll make a function on ship player death. And right here, we can say yield get tree dot create timer 1 second timeout. So what is this going to do? This is going to yield until the timeout signal is emitted from this timer that we just created. Get tree dot create timer, and then you pass in how long the timer goes, is a quick method for creating timers in Godot. You can use this method to instantly create a timer and then yield to wait until that timer is done. So we can yield right here. We can say get tree dot change scene, and then we'll want to change to the game over scene. And the reason we want to yield is so that we can get the particle effect, the explosion and stuff from when the player ship dies. So let's run the game and test this. We'll press space, start the game. We'll fire at a few enemies over here. Get a score, get hit by this enemy, and there we go. We come to the game over screen right here. Although I noticed our singleton is actually running. I'm not sure why that is, since it says it's not enabled. So mystery there. However, the solution, the workaround, I guess, for what's going on with that is we just open up the music scene, and then we come into the inspector and turn off autoplay. There we go. So here we go. So yeah, our high score obviously didn't work. Let's double check and make sure that the press escape to return back to the menu works. So we'll get hit. And here we go, press escape to return to the menu. We can press escape to quit, or we could start again. And we'll make this have quit be uppercase. Okay. And that's going to be it for this lecture. In the next one, we'll be adding the high score system. I will see you in the next lecture.